bit of cowboy coffee. My favorite.
Good morning, everybody. PJ here. Got up this morning. I had all this stuff laid out from yesterday when I made that video on my little tin stove, so I just figured I'd come out here and make my coffee out here and show you how I make a cowboy coffee in the woods when I'm out there. You can call it probably trail coffee, it'd be more accurate, because cowboy coffee, it's made the same way, but except for cowboy coffee be open fire and probably a big old tin coffee pot. But anyway, I'm gonna get started here, and we'll see. It's kind of show you just the efficiency of this and how to make my favorite coffee. I got my windshield out this morning just because it just does a little better, actually. I'll raise that up just a little bit. I don't know if you can see what I did. I put on my lid. Now we're gonna just sit this up there. That is right at a minute into the thing. Let's see how long it takes. Because alcohol and wood is definitely the slower. I mean, a canister stove would get you coffee a lot faster. Instant would get you even faster because all you got to do is heat it up. This ain't instant coffee. It says it, but this is real coffee. I've changed out. So while that's doing that, my method, I got 2 cups of water in my 1.1 liter. I can do it in my 750, but I have to be real careful because once it starts boiling with this in it, it'll foam up and it'll boil out. I like this one though. A tablespoon and a half per cup, which is with my little, this UCO spork. It's about 3 mounds like this. So just float them on top. That's 2. That's 3. And we're just gonna put the lid on it. And if you're gonna make this in camp, especially if you got it in the fire or on a canister stove, unless you got the canister stove turned way down, you gotta watch it and listen. Like, you can't just get distracted. You know, right now you probably could because it's not doing anything. But after a couple of minutes, you want to start looking, because once it starts to boil, it'll come right over the top. And I'm gonna try to do this kind of in real time. I know it'll make a boring video, you sitting here trying to watch that boil, but just to get the time and everything on here, depends on when. Alcohol stoves are nice just because they're lightweight. You don't have to carry a lot, especially if you're going on a day hike or overnight. You can carry just enough fuel. This will carry 3 ounces and then 1 in the tin itself. So I have 4 ounces. If I need to carry more than that, let me grab then I have, it's like a little 12-ounce Gatorade bottle, and I've put X's all over it so I know not to drink it, but I'll just fill that up. So that'll be 12 ounces there plus my little stove, and that's a lot of cooking. And I like alcohol too. You hear how quiet it is? I mean, it's working. I don't know if you can hear the pot starting to make a little noise. Usually it's a couple minutes after you start hearing that little anyway, it's really quiet versus a canister stove. You hear that noise, but they're fast. and it's been a while since I've done this, so accurate times I couldn't tell you. And with an alcohol stove, there ain't no accurate, like a canister stove. I can tell you in probably about 2.5-3 minutes with my Pocket Rocket Deluxe, it's gonna be a rolling boil, regardless of conditions. It's just straight underneath it, full force. This, a lot of little wind, air, every little thing is changing it. So, like I said, you gotta have patience to use this method. If you're in the woods, camping, what do you really gotta be in a hurry about? You wake up, light it, put your thing on there, start doing whatever you need, and just watch it, and it'll do its job. But basically, my method of this, and this ain't my method, I guess. I got this off another guy showing how to make a cowboy coffee, and I've done it for years camping, but I just like his method, and he does something different than I used to when I was, we'd be camping, and I have the big old metal cone-shaped coffee pot. I'd boil it, and just do it like that, but he does a little trick in there that really makes a difference on how the grounds and everything act. And if you notice, I'm not sitting, because I know there's going to be some YouTube police out there. I'm not sitting directly under this thing. I've kind of got my body twisted and turned, so that way, if by some chance my sleepy butt knocks this over, it's not going right on top of me, because you really don't want to cook above yourself. But I'll let it go. Where we at? So we've been going for 6 minutes now, and that's a little warm on the sides. Man, that smells good. But not close to boiling just yet. In here, it start to do a little something. But if I was camping, I wouldn't be just necessarily watching it like that. It doesn't seem near as long when you're camping, because what is that old saying? Watch pot never boils. That's kind of how this is. If you're sitting there waiting on it to boil, it's going to take a lot longer, so quit looking at it. But I am. We'll see. I keep looking at the timer on the thing. We're at 8:15. And just take a minute off of whatever it is on there. Now I want to say around 9 or 10 minutes for the coffee. And a lot of that has to do with height too of your flame. If you like how I set the burner on top of that lid, it might actually be better. I can't. I like putting that like a vapor barrier off the ground. But if you leave it off too, it extends the flame a little, so you probably get better times by doing that. And I've learned the closer you have it to the pot, the less fuel that you burn. The further away you have it from it, the more fuel you burn. But you get faster heat further away, a little bit further, not much. And I mean, you can change it 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, and make a big difference in time. It's working though. I can hear it. I can hear it starting to boil. And keep from tell you what though, you gotta watch that heat that comes out from around that thing. Another reason I like my little titanium thing, I can actually do like this. Yeah, we're almost at the boil, and it's about 9 minutes from the time I started. So like I say, you gotta have patience with this method. I wish it'd boil though, because I know you're getting tired of hearing me talk the whole time. But it'd be really, really, really boring if I just sat here like this. Or you watched it. Yeah, this come in handy. That is a. There we go. I can hear it. But now this process, this part right here. Now usually if I catch it in time, if you leave it on there, it'll boil up. But if you take the lid off of it, here, let me show you. Now once we're at that point, we're gonna let it boil like that for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. Longer the better. If you can get away with it and you don't want, just let your, which that's the same fuel I had left in there. So I put, last night was 2 ounces and I burned a little bit. So we're probably using about 1.5 ounces of fuel. So for this, I'll actually just kind of let it burn because I want that to boil. That's what's gonna make good coffee, is getting all of that acid and everything boiled out of that. So we'll just let it just keep doing that for just a couple of minutes. But again, back to that. Yeah, that little thing comes in handy for that. So remember that. And this instant coffee. I've had this for quite a while now. Maxwell House instant coffee. But there ain't no instant coffee in here because it was nasty. And it carries enough. I've done, let's see, I did one while we was camping that day, and I've done 2 cents, I think. So this will be, so there, you get about 4 cups of coffee out of this one. Well, no, actually it'd be 2, 4, 6, 8 cups of coffee out of this. Because I make 2 at a time. Because I like my coffee. So you could get away with just making a cup. Now, if you did that in a 750, if you just made 1 cup of coffee, if you're a 1 cup coffee drinker, then a 750 would be just perfect. But where I do 2, this one right here will boil over. You see how that's boiling. So it would boil over quick if I did that. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna stop this right here because the next step is I'm gonna take this off of here and I'm gonna let it sit and steep for probably about, I don't know, a good 2 or 3 minutes. So I know you don't want to watch that process. Then I'm gonna show you the key that I learned from him that makes this trick really work. But I'll be back because I'm just gonna take it off, sit it to the side, and just let it steep for a couple minutes. Be back. Alright, I'm back. So I put my flame out on my stove, let everything sit over and cool off. Let this steep for probably about 3 minutes. And what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna take cool water. This is pretty cold, but not really. I mean, it's pretty cool. Then I'm gonna take some of that, and any water you got, just want to pour just a little around the top and let it sit there for just another minute. And letting it sit gets all the coffee out of it. So the longer you let it sit, stronger it'll be. Boiling it gets the acid out of the ground, so it makes it really smooth. And I love this coffee. It's when you drink it and you first taste it, it's like, man, that's so much different than a coffee maker. A coffee maker pushes water, you know, it just kind of like seeps down. It doesn't actually boil nothing out of it. But I think that's long enough. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna grab it, and you'll notice, I can't show you this on camera because I can't turn it up, but there's no grounds floating on the top. None. They're all in the bottom. So I'm gonna pour it back here. Get my leg out of the way. thing about this coffee, if you're one of them that drinks like a 20-ounce cup of coffee a day, this is all you're going to need. Because if you drink more than this, you will get jittery. So right now, no grounds are coming up at all. Now, sometimes you might get like the little peels off of it, but see, like right now, there's nothing floating in the top of that at all. So from that part, cheers. A little trail coffee. You're just gonna have to try it because it's so smooth. It's different. If you did it like this, you'd want to make it like this every morning. But if you're like me, I get woke up, and at home, for some reason, I'm in a hurry. When I'm camping, I don't care. I'll sit there and take forever. And I won't bore you no more. Now, if I go to pour the rest of that out, there's still some in there. So it's actually probably a little over 2 cups. I think this is a 16-ounce cup. So there's quite a bit extra. So I'll probably add a little more. But just slowly pour it until you see the grounds. And all the grounds will be stuck right in the bottom of they'll nest right in this area right here. And they won't come past it as long as you don't swish the pot around or shake it up real good. They'll stay down there until you get almost the last drop of coffee out of that. But that's it, man. Enjoy. Make you a cup. Use your little alcohol stove. Learn how to make it on a canister stove, because canister stove will boil over quick if you're not paying attention. In the fire's the best way. You get a little bit of that smoke in there with it too. It just kind of feels right. But that's my favorite coffee. Don't like instant coffee. Instant coffee, I ain't found one that didn't taste nasty. Leave a bad aftertaste. Enjoy, man. Get outside. Enjoy these beautiful days. Go camping, hiking, kayaking, whatever you can. Get outside. Enjoy. Carry your little alcohol stove with you so you can make a cup of joe wherever you go. So have a good day.